Hi, it's your cycle buddy. There's a key to not getting super ultra lost in pain psychologically, and that key is to remember the very annoying phrase, this too shall pass. But it's not just remembering it, it's noticing the evidence for it in your past, in your own life, and really focusing on that. A therapist once used the phrase to me, the myopia of pain. That when we're really in acute suffering, we can't see past that. We can't see past that from our yesterdays. It seems like life has always been suffering. And the logical conclusion of that is that life will always be suffering. And that can be a really dangerous, a lethal perspective for the ones of us who have tendencies toward suicidal ideation. It can lead us to do anything to make the pain stop. And that, kind of like impulsive, must do something to make the pain go away, is often at the root of addiction or impulsive aggression or other behaviors that have a really negative consequence in our life that goes around and reinforces the concept that life is pain without ever giving us the opportunity for what's called a corrective experience. So I pride myself on being evidence-based, and for 20 years, the evidence that I created in my life was that I need to get high in order to get through today without life being so shitty that I'm going to have to kill myself. So every morning I would get up, not every morning, but every day at some point, I would use in order to cut the intensity of pain in my head. And that night, having not killed myself, my conclusion from the evidence was, well, great, if I use, I won't kill myself. And the next day, the logical behavior was to use again. Because using substances in that way shows us that we have to keep using substances. It becomes a cycle that prevents us from taking actions to change the situation we're using in order to get through. So mine was daily pot use. At the end of it, it was like chain smoking, constant daily pot use. And weed, in my case, facilitated functioning at the expense of healing. So it made an intolerable situation tolerable to the degree that I no longer had impetus or reason to inconvenience myself enough to change the actual situation going on around me. And because of that, it propagated this doldrums of no growth, no change in my life for a very long time. And it wasn't until I had been clean off all drugs and alcohol for about 100 days that I realized if I had the opportunity to erase my whole existence for free without hurting anyone, I wouldn't take it. I wanted to be alive because life had had the opportunity to show me that it was worth living and I didn't need to die. That was incredible for me. I spent, from the time I tried to kill myself when I was 17 until I got clean at 45, so 28 years. Yeah, 28 years. 28 years with chronic, daily, involuntary, invasive, vivid suicidal ideation. That's a long habit. And so I was really amazed when that corrective experience, paying attention to different data, allowed such a huge transformation in how I feel about being alive. And so long as I stay closely engaged with, for me, a program, a 12-step program that is a practice of focusing on not other things that I want to be alive for, but on growth, personal growth, then that really made a huge difference. That made the suicidality stop. It makes the suicidality stop. It keeps it at bay. It's kind of like a weed in a garden, the way trauma is in my life, that I have to keep pulling. So distress tolerance, focusing through the myopia of pain, means having strategies to not have a compulsive reaction to psychological discomfort. And one of the big ones that has worked for me is imagining that I am the sky and my emotions are the weather. I don't know if you've ever flown, but when you go above the cloud cover, the sky is always this huge arc of gorgeous blue. And that helps me remember that however intense my emotions are, they're passing. They're not going to stay. That I am not that feeling. And that feeling does not have power over me, including suicidality. That if I keep breathing, then regression toward the mean, the acuity of pain has to pass biologically. It has to pass. And when it does, when I'm no longer in such a dark place, then I can look back over my life and see the good things, see what's worth living for, see the things that I enjoy, even if it's really just the little things. The sound of my kids laughing when they play together, or even the taste of really good Dr. Pepper, or of course the smell of my husband's beard, the little things that make waking up and getting out of bed worthwhile. When I'm depressed, they don't hold weight. When I'm not depressed, they do. So another strategy is to write about those things when I'm in a lighter place and to go back and read that. I have a diary that just every single line is I love. I love the taste of lemonade on a hot day. I love the way a newborn baby smells. That's it. And I just write in that when I'm doing better and read over it when I'm doing really badly. And it's a way to see through it so the pain doesn't seem like it's always been there and it'll never go away. It will go away. Let's keep breathing.